Hey everybody, it's Andre Shirdan, and I'm here with another guest today. And I always like talking to some of the docs that I get to meet over there over the years. And I'm here with Publio Silfa, and he is one of the doctors at Meadowbrook Dentistry, which is in Plainview, New York. And Dr. Silfa is a third-generation dentist. His dad and granddad were dentists in the Dominican, but he is the first to practice in the U.S. And he and his partner Miguel Canavas have one of the coolest high-tech practices in the New York area. And their practice is one of the Digital Smile Designs, DSD, clinics of only 53 in the world. I mean, you're talking some good stuff here. So I want to talk to him a little bit about that. But we got to meet about 5 years ago. And the reason he is in a Starbucks today is because his practice is so busy that he couldn't even work in his own office. So he's sitting in a Starbucks today so we can have this interview. And I follow him on social media, and you guys should too. And I'll make sure that all of his information down below. But Publio, good to see you, man. How's it going?
Nice seeing you, Andre. Thanks for the invitation. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm happy to do this. And the last time we got a chance to hang out, we were at a restaurant a couple doors down, having some good burgers, man. So it's good to see you.
I invited you for burgers, but I owe you the tacos. I know you're a big taco fan.
Hey, I'll take anything, man. If I get to eat anything, I'm happy. So I'm glad you got a chance to do this, and you got my questions. So we're going to kind of go through some of these questions and do it kind of rapid fire, so everybody has a chance to hear it. So here's question number one, and I realize that most of my guests have hit multiple forks in the road, but tell me about a fork in the road that you've hit and compare yourself to the person you were before you chose that fork.
So one of the biggest forks and challenges was that as a GP, a new dentist in the practice, I graduated in 2012 and I started practicing in New York, and I was used to a certain style of practice, which was regular GP practice, crown and bridge, root canal, single unit care, which was also focused with a lot of insurances. And it was like kind of like the whole concept of this is how the practice should be run. This is how the patients will accept treatment. And there came a time in with the training and the practice that I was connected with a group called FMR, Mouth Rehabilitation. And it was this course that kind of like opened my mind to see how dentistry could be practiced and have fun at the same time. So we could do more comprehensive work that has a true impact in changing someone's life. And that was the fork in the road. That was the moment where I realized, okay, now should I continue the next 15 years of my life with no technology, no new innovations in dentistry, and continue doing the old crown and bridge the way I used to do it? Or should I start focusing on a more comprehensive treatment with a more rehabilitation mind and focus, and bringing in a team in order to restore and change the patient's life? I think that was the route we took, and I haven't looked back.
Yeah. Well, and, that's, like I said, the thing that I see a lot of my doctors that I follow a lot of doctors in social media, and I know a lot of docs personally. And, when I find that they pick a path that meets their clinical philosophy, that's when things spark and that's when things change. And I mean, that makes a big difference in the way that we do things. And I mean, I know like digital smile design for you guys is a big part of where you're going.
Yeah. So when it came to opening the practice and creating the practice, we had it with the digital smile design concept even before we became a DSD clinic, right? So it was to be focused on the patient experience, to be focused on the journey, to understand the why the patient came into our office and understand how we could connect with this patient to change their life. And that was a learning curve, but it started to make sense once we started to finesse the journey for each patient and the team members involved in the practice and the technology that we started implementing. And from there, it was more of an emotional dentistry, which is one of the biggest topics that I love talking about. It's how I connect with my patients and how my team connect with them and the patient's experience that vibe. So as I tell you, like I created this practice from scratch. I spend more time in the practice than I do at home. So I created the practice with the vision that I want to be comfortable. I want my patients to come into the office and feel like they're home. And that is the constant feedback that we get with our patients and everyone that comes in.
Yeah, and I'll make sure that everybody gets a link to this down in the notes. But one of the things that I loved during COVID, which is weird to say, but the fact that you guys had these reveals where the patients were wearing the masks and then they would pull the masks off in front of a mirror. That was just like such a great thing. That was awesome. So good.
No. So exactly. Every time we do a small makeover or we change this person's life, and it's now COVID, we're still wearing the mask. They're like, I can't wait to show my family, my friends, my smile. They're happy. They're grateful for the opportunity to smile again.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's go into question number 2, which is, what's the book that everyone should be reading and reading maybe over and over again?
All right. So I couldn't choose one book. I have several books. For those who are interested in going into the business of dentistry, I would say that Traction by Gino Wickman is a book that really helped me understand and structure the nature of an operating system, right? So when you know where to put your pieces in order and your team members, and then structure it, that has a strong part in the business. Atomic Habits, because everything we do, we want to do it with habits. Everything we are naturally structured to do things with habit, and that's why James Clear. And one other book that really allowed me to understand that in dentistry, the word sell is very big no-no, right? Oh, no, we're dentists. We don't sell. The truth is that we are selling ourselves. We are selling the dentistry we do. We go to school for so many years. We do specialty. We do programs. We do courses. For what? We don't want to have them just hanging on the wall or in the bookshelf. Just so I did this course. I want to do the dentistry that I went to train for. Right. So when you're always exceeding to get a new course and new training, you want to be able to, connect with the person to understand how you could solve their problems. And when you solve their problems, that's what you're doing. You're selling, and that's basically the thing. So a book that really helped me on that was Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. He's a retired FBI agent, and it just takes things outside of a perspective of it's not just dentistry or selling or doing this. It's connecting with humans and understanding how they make decisions. So those are big 3 books that helped me tremendously.
That's awesome. I used to teach a course on treatment planning, and the tagline under it was seeking equal listening and learning. So that's an acronym for sell. I have no problem with selling. I was a salesperson for years. So I love that. Those are 3 great books, and I got to look into it. 2 of them I've seen. The other one I have to look for. So I have to dig that one out. So here's the next question, which is question number 3. Give me 1 or 2 of your favorite quotes.
I'm a big basketball fan, and one of the favorite quotes is by Kobe Bryant, and it's talked about his Mamba mentality, and it's to be on a constant quest to try to be the best version of yourself. Right? I want to always exceed myself, be a better version of what I used to be. And with persistence and dedication, I've been able to see that happen and accomplish. So that is one quote that I have it saved in one of my pictures, and I constantly refer back to because it does motivate me.
Yeah. And did you have another one?
The other one is more of a visual, and don't know if you've ever seen the iceberg that has the topic success at the tip of the iceberg, but underneath the water, no one ever sees what the true success is. And it's all about the hard work, the persistence, the discipline, the sacrifice, the late nights, the rejections, the passion, the failure, and the doubt, but also the fear, So that's one big visual and a quote that I refer to back and back over and over, because it does help me a lot to remember where I'm standing and remember how hard my journey has been and how I have to continue to push myself.
That's awesome. And I'll make sure that there's a visual on the screen so everybody can see what we're talking about. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. That's an awesome one too. So here's a couple easy ones. So question number 4, what's the high-tech thing? So it has to have a battery or a plug that you can't live without.
I think this is going to be like, if we were playing Family Feud, it would be, I would win the 100 points, and it's my iPhone. But the truth is, in life, this has allowed me to make instant hubs and conferences calls and internet access in the middle of nowhere. So it's very useful. Yeah. In my practice, I would say the digital technology we use, like the intraoral scanner, like my Invisalign iTero scanner, my electric handpiece, and my CT scan. All these units are digital, high-tech stuff that we use in the office. So
yeah, that's true. And at some point, we'll be able to pick up our phone and do a CT scan. So
I hope not.
So on the other side of that, question number 5, what's the low-tech thing? Can't have a plug and can't have batteries. What's the low-tech thing you can't live without?
I would say my running shoes.
Yeah.
In moments that I want to disconnect and connect with the world, I put on my shoes and I start running, and I go into trails and I start working out. So I even travel. Every time I travel, I make sure I have a pair of sneakers in my bag or myself. My wife is like, "Why are you bringing your sneakers?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I might want to run or do something that I need to disconnect to connect with myself." So
here's a big question: Nike, Adidas, Asics. What's the favorite brand?
I'm a big Nike fan. It's the brand and the people behind it. I know the clothes makes me feel good. So
yeah, I always have to ask. I mean, that's my son's a big sneakerhead, so I always have to ask that question. So let's wrap back to the fork in the road, and let's talk about question number 6, which is, go back to that fork and when you start making some of these choices where you go. What advice would you give yourself if you could go back and talk to yourself?
Definitely start sooner. Don't second guess yourself. It took me 4 to 5 years to make that decision. Although I was married with 2 kids at the time that I started making decisions, I was going through a transition of moving from New Jersey to Long Island. But I would say that start sooner. If you have that gut feeling, just go with it, because it's something that comes natural, and it's not that you're going to go for a course and they're going to train you how to feel that gut instinct to want to be a business entrepreneur or opening your own practice. So if you have that gut feeling, go with it. The other thing is, I would say to the young dentist starting, listen more to what people have to say. But it doesn't mean that you have to make those decisions, right? So there were times that I thought I knew it all, so I would not listen. I would mute people out. But there were times also that with my patients, myself, I wanted to, educate them and talk all about the courses and the trainings that I did in my past, not understanding that they are the ones that have the problem that I have to solve. So I have to listen to them. And listening was key from patient perspective, my household, my family, my relationship, and my team members in the practice. So, listening was one of the biggest leadership skills that I had to learn over the years.
Yeah. So I didn't prepare you for this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. And I've been asking everybody this question. So here's my question for you. Doctor is who he is today because of hard work or luck?
Hard work. I just became lucky after 20 years of doing what I was doing, of all the hard work I was doing in the past 20 years. Yeah. Things happened to me and they lined up at the time they had to line up because that was God's plan. I truly believe in that. And, one story that I don't share often, but I came to this country in 2003 with $53 in my pocket. And that was after celebrating New Year's with my family, New Year's Day, I'm here. And by January 5th, I had my first working interview. And on my birthday, I started working. January 7th, I started working as a dental assistant. And I didn't look back. You know, I just kept on going and worked 2 years as a dental assistant, and then did research. It took me 9 years to get my license. I started private practice, and a few years later, I opened my own startup with Miguel, and it just from there. So yes, that's why the pyramid, I really connect with the pyramid, because it's all the hard work and dedication to become a better version of myself. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think luck is the reward for a lot of hard work. Yeah. Well, hey, I really appreciate you doing this, and hopefully you can have some time to get into your own office. And but I really appreciate you taking the time to do this, and I can't wait to get back up. Been there in a while, so I can't wait to get back up and see you. So we'll see you soon.
Come on in. I would love to have you again. Listen, Andre, everything you do for the community, you're just a giver. And I'm always touched and hearing how you're so quick to respond to all the comments, unless you've already created a robot that you're doing that. But I don't think so, because you really do have passion for what you do. Thank you for helping me in my practice throughout the past few years and helping me what seems so easy and so simple for you to have a problem to solve. But for me, it was driving me crazy, and my team members in the office. So thank you for everything you do, because it impacts my practice, and I could impact more people by doing that. Thank you so much.
I'm happy to help, man. And like I said, tell everybody I said hello, and I will talk to you really soon. I appreciate it.
All right. Sounds good.
Take care.